Warzone 2's been out for almost 2 days, so I've had a chance to sink some real time into it. And excuse me if I sound like I've got a cold, because I flipping have. Now, I've played probably a total of 10 matches varying from squads to duos and a few solos. I've had tons of my viewers asking me what my thoughts are on Warzone 2 and if it's even worth downloading. So I want to be straight with you all, because don't forget, it is a massive download file and a slap on your performance for console or PC. And I promise to give you my honest feedback to which you can then decide if it's actually worth your time to try it. I also think it's worth mentioning that if you don't know me or you're new here, my content is mainly focused around Call of Duty multiplayer. It always has been, and always probably will be. I prefer constant action, and the BR modes just don't provide that satisfaction for me. But I do still like to report on anything Call of Duty based, and I'm definitely more open to experimenting with Warzone 2 and DMZ this year. So I'm going into Warzone 2 with a fresh mindset, giving no biased opinions on the state of the game. And for reference, I originally played Warzone 1 up until around the end of Season 2. I have little to no experience in Resurgence, and I did not touch Caldera. That map looked like arse turd. I wanted Warzone 2 to be a fresh experience, to hopefully try something new. And based on my games over the last few days, I feel like I got this. To some regard, of course. I firstly want to say that the Al Mazrah map is absolutely beautiful. There's really nice detailed features in each section that I went to. I love the way the map's laid out and how it just visually pops. I think this map is a huge step up from Caldera, but as of right now, I'm not sure if it hits the same levels as Verdansk for me personally. But it's so sick how they snipped in old school maps like Showdown for the nostalgia. This really took me back to the good old days. Moving forward, I loaded into games pretty fast in all the varying game modes, so there's no issue with that. I love the fact that you can talk to everyone in game chat when you're all on the plane. I'm all down for stuff like this that engages the COD community and gets people talking about the game. Obviously, be careful of the idiots that write offensive shit, because someone always has to take it too far. But in terms of FPS, even running on a 3090 Ti, top-end i9 CPU and DDR5 RAM, I still can't get to 200 FPS. And that's not even while streaming at the same time. Now, there are probably some optimal settings that you can follow to make this happen, but it's worth noting that Warzone 2 takes a real strain on your PC performance. The game does once again, however, remain free, which is good, but some players are apparently receiving error messages to purchase Modern Warfare 2. Not sure what that's all about. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what that's all about. Moving into game features, the proximity chat is probably the best thing they've ever added into Warzone. You do have to be careful as a streamer though. People are saying racist stuff and offensive words down the microphone, so be cautious when live streaming. But with the right lobbies and situations, you can end up with shit like this. If I teabag you, would you get angry? That in itself is content alone, and that's probably what I'll use mostly Warzone for. Being able to toy with your opponents when they get into the same area as you is funny as fuck. It creates mind games and funny interactions. Absolutely quality. Imagine this in S&D multiplayer though. You can unlock weapons and continue camo challenges, or level up guns and your overall level through Warzone. And this all integrates with both DMZ and multiplayer, which is great. Playing Warzone 2 also earns you battle pass tokens for your battle pass, which is awesome. And vehicle mechanics like leaning, jump into the roof, and water mechanics add good depth to the game. They have definitely made huge strides since Warzone 1 without a doubt. But I'm not sure if it's just me, but when first playing Warzone 2, the servers were absolutely horrendous. It's slightly better now, but I'm still seeing all over social media people struggling with connection and ping. I've heard of disconnects when people trying to grab a loadout, players having over 200 ping when trying to play a match, UI issues not showing teammates in the bottom left corner. Now the game is still fresh and needs to be ironed out, but there's definitely issues. And if you want that 100% clean Warzone experience, then you might have to wait a little bit for it. As for opposing players and lobbies, it's still sweaty as fuck. It's just as sweaty as what I remember in Verdansk, so be warned that if you're even half a good player, it's gonna put you in some tough lobbies. This is also escalated now that they've increased footstep audio to cater for campers who can just sit in buildings and listen out for players. That's really shit. Once again, this punishes players like myself who like to be aggressive, because you'll just sound like an elephant anywhere you move. And to add to this even more, Dead Silence has a really loud activation noise so people can hear you when you're transitioning to silent movement. Call of Duty know full well that the casual player base brings the money in, and it's obvious to see it. So do keep that in mind when playing Warzone 2. Moving into map density versus player count, it gets a little bit lonely sometimes. I've found at times that it gets a bit too lonely. Even whilst using a vehicle and zipping around the map, it's taken me ages to find someone. And that's with a high player count in the game. I'd like to say that the car having a fuel percentage is cool, and damage breakdowns for different parts of the car does make it more realistic. But I wonder if the map just might be a little bit too big for the current player count. I'm curious to know your thoughts on this question specifically. Is Al Mazrah too big for 150 players or so? Make sure to let me know in the comments. As for the looting and inventory system, it took a little while to get used to, but all in all I think it's actually quite good. Not sure how it feels on controller, but on a mouse mouse and keyboard, it's a real simple drag and drop click system. Armor plates, money, and buy stations seem to be plentiful when looting around in areas. Floor loot in terms of weapons feels good, but getting to a loadout is definitely still the way to go. And at the end of the first circle collapse, strongholds go online and don't require keys to access them. There are only ever 3 active strongholds on the map at the same time. And speaking of strongholds, there'll be a big talking point in our YouTube video that we're dropping at 6 PM UK time tomorrow. This video will focus on DMZ and what the game mode's like to play, so don't forget to subscribe and turn notifications on for that one. You'll find AI in these areas, and Black Sites gives you the opportunity to get a loadout, extra XP, and more. It brings a nice PvE element into the game, which I'm definitely a fan of. All in all, with the decisions that COD have made, I definitely think that Warzone 2 could be the best one yet. Expect the classic Warzone experience, and if you don't mind the current laggy servers, sweaty lobbies which will never change, and the campers, then you'll love it. And as long as your console or PC can run it smoothly with the right storage space, then you'll be just fine. Oh, and I forgot to mention, FOV sliders are in the game for all platforms, which is huge. The game has tons of good features, including a beautiful map, great PvE integration, satisfying gunplay, and rewarding XP when you finish a game. And with Warzone 2 being free, I'd definitely say it's at least worth a download to try, even if you haven't played Warzone before. And may I remind you that this is coming from a multiplayer creator, so I've got nothing to hide. I would definitely say that Warzone 2 is worth it, and I can't wait to make more proximity and meme style content once I finish this pesky Orion camera grind. Now share with me your thoughts on Warzone 2 so far if you've played it. What do you think about the game mode, and are you enjoying it? And as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's video.